Alright my peeps, it is now time for the TNA No Surrender 2012 results / highlights / review video. I'm gonna go over the results of the show and give you guys my thoughts on it, at the end of the video. So, first match was Jeff Hardy vs Samoa Joe, the first of two semi-final matches we were gonna see at the pay-per-view. Good match between the two guys. In the end, Jeff Hardy wins with a roll-up to advance into the finals of the Bound for Glory series. And then afterwards, you've got Jeremy Borash with James Storm, and he interviews him about, his Bound for Glory series match. James Storm mentions once again that last year, Bully Ray cost him the Bound for Glory series and he lost to Bully Ray, so this year, he wants to beat Bully Ray and get his revenge, I guess. So, right after, we have the actual match, Bully Ray versus James Storm. It was a decent match. In the matchup, James Storm actually took out two referees by accident. He took out the first referee, the initial referee, and then he took out the other one. And once, he took out that second referee, Roode comes back, he gets in the ring, and he hits James Storm with the beer bottle once again. How many times has freaking Roode hit James Storm with a beer bottle? I know it's been like at least 3 times or 4 times. I don't know, and the funniest thing is, isn't the beer bottle James Storm's signature, I guess, weapon or something like that? Since he's the beer drinker? I don't know, but yeah, it looks like they're gonna be doing a Roode versus James Storm non-title match at Bound for Glory, probably a no DQ match or something like that. So anyways, let's get back to the actual results here. Then you have Jeremy Borash, once again, backstage, which is no surprise, since TNA, I guess, loves backstage interviews right after a match, after every single match on a pay-per-view. If you're not familiar with TNA pay-per-views, like after every single match, they have a backstage interview with Jeremy Borash interviewing the wrestler that's, gonna compete next. Sometimes it's actually Christy Hemme, but most of the times it's Jeremy Borash. So he's backstage with Miss Tessmacher. She puts over Tara. She says Tara taught her everything, blah, blah, blah. She says, on Impact on Open Fight Night, I believe, she challenged Tara to a match so she could prove herself, but Tara beat her fair and square. So, she wants this match tonight so she can prove that she can beat Tara. So then we move on to the actual matchup between Tara and Miss Tessmacher. It was an okay match. It was a pretty quick matchup, and Miss Tessmacher retained her championship when Tara went for the Widow's Speak, her finisher, but Miss Tessmacher countered that into a roll-up to win the match. So that was the second roll-up victory of the pay-per-view. And then afterwards, you've got Hulk Hogan backstage with Bobby Roode, and he tells him, he's going to arrest him because of what he did, I guess, because he hit James Storm with a beer bottle, got involved in the match. And then James Storm, comes up to Bobby Roode and they fight for a while. So, he sends both James Storm and Bobby Roode to jail or with the cops. And then Austin Aries comes out to challenge Aces and Eights. I thought this was actually going to be the main event or towards the end, but it was actually pretty early for this segment. But whatever. I think it's better that way anyway, so we can have the actual Bound for Glory series finals as the main event, since that's really what most people, I think, were looking forward to on this show. So yeah, he comes out, he, tells them to come out, tells the Armbreaker guy to come out. He eventually comes out, and, they start fighting. They fight for a while. It's kind of like it was kind of like the length of a full match, but, just the fight, no pinfall, no submission, no referees. The big guy gets the advantage at some point, Austin Aries gets the advantage, and then at some point, you had the big man. He was about to powerbomb Aries, but Aries threw some powder or some chalk in his face. Started getting the advantage. Hit the missile drop kick in the corner, followed by the brainbuster. And then he went to take off the mask, but the rest of Aces and Eights came out and started attacking Austin Aries. But he, did a pretty good job at taking some of them out. But there were too much, so a bunch of guys from the TNA roster came out to fend them off, and they did a pretty good job of that. And then towards the end, Bully Ray just, comes running to, I guess, chase some of them off. But he came towards the end while Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, and all that were in there from the beginning to help Austin Aries. And then at some point, you don't see Jeff Hardy anymore. And the commentators point out that they saw one of the Aces and Eights guys take him out or something like that. So then they show a camera shot of what happened to Jeff Hardy, and you see this one Aces and Eights guy having like Jeff Hardy on his shoulder and charging his shoulder, Jeff Hardy's shoulder onto the ring post outside the ring. And then they kind of act like Jeff Hardy's injured, his shoulder, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I guess the main event's in jeopardy or something like that, or he's going to compete injured. And after that, you actually have Zema Ion versus Sonjay Dutt. There's actually no interviews after this, I guess because Austin Aries' segment wasn't a match, it was just, you know, a fight. So there was no Jeremy Borash. Instead, it was just a promo, you know, hyping up Sonjay Dutt and Zema Ion. They used some footage from Destination X, you know, where Zema Ion cost Sonjay Dutt the match and stuff. So that was a good match. It was a very good match, and I was very impressed with Sonjay Dutt. He pulled off some awesome maneuvers, some awesome counters, and in the end, Zema Ion wins with the Gory Bomb. So Zema Ion is still the X Division champion. I mean, really, who was actually expecting Sonjay Dutt to win this one? There wasn't really much build to this match, no segments on Impact, no tag team matches between the two guys or anything like that, so it was pretty much expected that Zema Ion would win this. Anyways, afterwards you've got JB giving us an update on Jeff Hardy's condition, and then Magnus interrupts and starts talking trash about Jeff Hardy, about how he wasn't smart or something like that. And then we actually have Rob Van Dam versus Magnus. And, you know, this was a decent match. I wasn't really looking forward to this match, but it was pretty decent. Decent length, you know, not too long, not too quick either. It wasn't a squash match or anything like that. And in the end, Rob Van Dam wins with the 5-star frog splash. Now, this match, I was expecting maybe Magnus to win, because I don't see why Rob Van Dam needed this win, really. While Magnus could have used this win, but I guess, you know, Rob Van Dam wins. What are you going to do about it? Maybe Bound for Glory we're going to have a rematch, or hopefully on Impact, because I don't think Magnus and Rob Van Dam is like a Bound for Glory or biggest pay-per-view, you know, type of matchup. It's more like an Impact match, or a pay-per-view like No Surrender type match, you know, not a WrestleMania or Bound for Glory type match. And then you've got a backstage interview with Daniels and Kazarian. It was a pretty good promo, you know. Christopher Daniels called Hulk Hogan Thunderlips. For those of you who aren't aware of that, search for Rocky 3, the movie, and you should find out, you know, Hulk Hogan's involvement, or Hulk Hogan's, why they call him Thunderlips. Anyways, afterwards, we had the tag team title match. Christopher Daniels, Chris Kazarian defending the titles against AJ and Angle. And this was another awesome tag team match between these two teams. These guys have put on the best tag team matches I've seen in a long time. This is probably like, you know, there's match at Slammiversary, and this one, these are probably like the best tag team matches ever or something like that. They were freaking awesome. You know, I love the Slammiversary one, and this one was amazing too. You know, and I've got to give props to Kazarian. Kazarian really, you know, did some cool work in this match. He pulled off his old finisher from the top rope, the C4 or flip bottom. It's, you know, it's the same finisher Sin Cara used to use and John Morrison used for a while, and also Paul Burchill used, but Kazarian uses it from the top rope. I don't remember what Kazarian calls it though, which annoys me because I know I knew the name before, but I freaking forgot it. Maybe it's gonna come back later on. Anyways, great match. All the guys in this match, you know, were great. At some point, you had AJ Styles in the corner, and you had Kazarian charging him, and Daniels was like right behind Kazarian. So Kazarian charges AJ in the corner and hits a monkey flip. He hits the monkey flip, and AJ, it looked like Daniels was going to catch AJ from the monkey flip into a powerbomb, but AJ counters that into Hurricane Rana. That was a cool spot. Another spot was when Angle and AJ went for a double back body drop, and freaking Kazarian flew. He freaking jumped so high up. And at some point, you had Kazarian hitting a running drop kick on AJ, and AJ like flew backwards. And towards the end of the match, you know, you want to know what happens in the end, right? So towards the end of the match, AJ has got Kazarian in the Styles Clash. You know, he's about to set it up. He's about to do it. But the referee's kind of tending to Angle because Angle's, you know, has a problem with his hamstring. So, you know, he looks hurt, so referee's tending to him outside, so he's kind of distracted with that. So Daniels grabs his Appletini or whatever he had and throws it into AJ's face, and Kazarian then rolls up AJ for the victory. So yeah, Kazarian and Daniels actually retain. Holy shit, Daniels won a match against AJ. I mean, it's not a one-on-one match, but I guess he kind of beat AJ, although Kazarian got the pinfall and it was a tag team match. Quick tip to all you guys: if you ever bet on a wrestling match, especially on, you know, on a Daniels match, don't bet on Daniels. Bet on whoever's facing Daniels, especially if he's facing AJ. If he's facing AJ, freaking bet on AJ. Don't bet on Daniels. You're gonna lose your money or whatever you're betting on. So, great match, like I said. I'd have to look back at the Slammiversary match and this one to figure out which one was best, but both were freaking awesome. The finish maybe for Slammiversary was better, but awesome match nonetheless. And then you had Hulk Hogan talking with the cops once again, and he's talking to them, you know, telling them, hey, don't let anybody get in. This is the Bound for Glory series match. It's the most important match of the night, the match everybody's looking forward to, and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, he told them to, I guess, yeah, not let anybody in, and if anybody gets in, to arrest them or something like that. So, then you have a backstage interview with Bully Ray, with Jeremy Borash, and Bully Ray acts like a face. By the way, I forgot to point this out, but when Jeff Hardy got taken out, Bully Ray was the one to tell Hulk Hogan and the guys that, hey, Jeff Hardy got taken out, he looks hurt. So anyways, in the interview, you know, Bully Ray's acting like a baby face, saying that, you know, a little part of him feels sorry about Jeff Hardy, and yeah, it was kind of a face promo, as if, you know, Bully Ray's turning face, but it was kind of obvious that Bully Ray, you know, is a part of Aces and Eights. And then we move on to the actual matchup. Bully Ray comes out first, and then they play Jeff Hardy's theme song. Jeff doesn't come out. They play it once again, but this time Hulk Hogan comes out. And, you know, once Hulk Hogan comes out, they talk for a while. Looks like Hulk Hogan's kind of suspicious that Bully Ray was the first one to see Jeff Hardy taken out and stuff like that. And Hulk Hogan tells Bully Ray, you know, if you really feel sorry about Jeff Hardy, or, you know, feel sorry about the whole Aces and Eights thing or something like that, then you're going to wait until Impact 4 more days so we can actually have the match when Jeff Hardy's, you know, able to compete or at 100%. And, you know, he gives the choice to Bully Ray to either, you know, let the referee count Jeff Hardy out because he didn't come out, or actually have the match at, you know, on Impact Wrestling, you know, this Thursday. And at this point, I'm like, what the hell? You know, people are freaking buying this pay-per-view to watch, you know, the conclusion or find out who's gonna win the Bound for Glory series, and then you're gonna book the freaking finals at Impact Wrestling instead, and, you know, not have the main events on the actual No Surrender pay-per-view. But in the end, Jeff Hardy actually came out, so I was like, you know, I was happy at that point, because I was gonna get annoyed if we weren't actually gonna see the match and they were gonna end the pay-per-view like that. So yeah, I'm glad we actually had the match. So Jeff Hardy comes out, you know, selling the injury, selling his shoulder injury, and he's got his shoulders taped up. So we move on to the match. It kind of starts slow. Looks like Bully Ray doesn't really want to hurt Jeff Hardy. And then they start getting physical. And really the match, it was a finisher match, if you can even call a match that. It had a lot of finishers. You had Jeff Hardy hitting 3 twists of fates and like 3 swanton bombs, and you had Bully Ray hitting a bully bomb or a Bubba bomb followed by like 2 bully cutters or whatever, and Jeff kicked out of all of those, and Bully Ray kicked out of, I think, you know, all of the twists of fates. But in the end, Jeff Hardy hits another swanton bomb for a total of 3, I think, or 4 maybe. I think it was 3. And Jeff Hardy actually won the match. That was unexpected. I didn't expect Jeff Hardy to win this match at all. And I know, you know, I said Jeff Hardy was going to win in my prediction game video, and that was my prediction. That was before the actual pay-per-view. But when the pay-per-view aired, and as the show went on, and you had Bully Ray acting like a face, and Jeff Hardy getting injured and stuff like that, and James Storm losing his match, then, you know, I was starting to think that, hey, Bully Ray is going to win this, not Jeff Hardy. But, yeah, it was unexpected. Jeff Hardy winning the finals when he's injured, and, you know, you had Bully Ray acting like a face. when, you know, it was kind of obvious he's a part of a Season 8, but Jeff wins in the end. So, yeah. You know, I wanted Bully Ray to win, but I'm happy anyways with Jeff Hardy winning. We should have a great match at Bound for Glory between Aries and Jeff Hardy. I just wonder what's going to happen with Bully Ray now. Who's he going to face? But anyways, guys, as far as No Surrender goes and what I thought about the overall show, I'd say it was a good show. I like the fact that the Bound for Glory series was pretty unexpected. You know, as the show went on, you had no idea what was going to happen. Who was going to win what? Was Jeff Hardy going to come back and win the match? Or was, you know, Bully Ray going to win this? I've got to say, you know, the Jeff Hardy win was pretty unexpected. Like I said before, I was expecting Jeff to win before the pay-per-view, but once the pay-per-view started and the things went on and stuff like that, I was then expecting Bully Ray to win. So the Jeff Hardy win, definitely a surprise. And you had an awesome, freaking awesome tag team match between, you know, the World Tag Team Champions of the World and AJ and Kurt Angle. The X Division match was great too. Bound for Glory series matches were good too. So, you know, overall, it was a good show. In the comment section, guys, tell me what you thought about the show and what do you think about Jeff Hardy winning. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, you can click that like button down below, and I'd really appreciate that. It really helps me out. And that's pretty much it. I'm out. See ya.